if we're talking about MetaTrader, for example, right? You'll hear so many people on both sides, traders and companies, complain about it, and yet everybody continues to use it, right? It's one of the things about this industry which I find kind of hilarious in a way, because like, oh, we hate you, we're going to continue to use you. What the hell?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like literally, so when I was, you know, I've done obviously a lot of consulting for different brokers and banks and stuff. And, you know, the idea of not having MetaTrader, for example, for a startup broker, the idea of not having, forgetting the costs associated with getting trading technology.
Right, yeah.
But if you needed customers, you needed MetaTrader, because customers wanted MetaTrader, because it's
right.
taken.
But that's the thing, hold on. They wanted MetaTrader, but if you go into the forums, you'll find a bunch of them that were complaining about it also. So it's both sides loved hating it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It brought so much to the table. And at the same time, just, you know, jerked everyone around. And, you know, and they've done what they've done. And even to this day, you know, you still, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe there's a few brokers, of course, that don't use MetaTrader. But, you know, they probably get asked maybe 150 times a month, do you have MetaTrader? Right.
Right.
So, you know, it is what it is. So, you know, they like others and other technology providers have had a massive impact on the market. You know, if you think of that when trading came to the internet and how quickly it came online, to the fact that it's still here today, it is, you know, is incredible. You know, it is incredible.
So your trajectory most of the time was as an independent, correct?
Yeah, so I would try and balance things out by, you know, capital introduction, financial intermediary, but also consulting for people and firms who wanted to integrate different technologies into their, you know, into their setup. So if they wanted to be a broker, I'd help them choose platforms and liquidity and help them with regulation and so on and so forth. I really sort of moved over to that consulting side because I found it more interesting. And also I found that I could get paid better because they didn't want to screw me over as much as if, you know, and also it gave me a break away from, you know, trying to find the best trading teams and the best way to introduce business and so on and so forth. So I found that was pretty cool. It also meant that I could still carry on traveling around. You know, I managed to get to places like the British Virgin Islands, which, you know, was unnecessary and brilliant at the same time, you know, just to be there for something that I could have done over a phone call, but it was cool.
Right.
You know, yeah. I'm not going to complain, you know, or whether it being in Cyprus or being in the trenches in Amsterdam, I was still able to do, you know, to have those things that I value greatly, still be involved in the industry. And I liked not having to sell the same thing, you know, it gave me a little bit of space away from, oh shit, somebody's just tanked an account. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, that was kind of nice.
But there's something else also, I think, yes, because like you have been in the industry on many different sides. One of the nice things about being on the business side of it is that you're dealing with fewer bigger clients.
Yeah.
So the work is essentially a lot easier because a business, you know, once it's running, once it's using a service that you introduce to it, right? It's going to continue using it unless something bad happens. It's not all of a sudden, oh, I need to pay, you know, for the Christmas gifts for the kids and the grandkids, or it's not going to be, oh, well, you know, I decided maybe I should invest somewhere else. At most, it's that somebody brought them a better solution. But it tends to be a lot more stable. So you and me, who like freedom, for example, it's easier in that sense to work with companies, I think, with businesses.
Yeah, I also found that I could sleep for the first time in years, right? Because I was worrying about people's accounts and the way that trading, or trying to, you know, follow the trading teams and this and the other. And, you know, so at one time I had my introducing broker business had maybe 5-6 different trading teams that I would be working with, you know, different strategies and stuff. you know, and it was like a full-time thing, just trying to, you know, watch those and work out if they were going well. And, you know, and then when I compare that to you know, working with some technology providers or liquidity providers and getting them clients, and you know, it would just be in a much better position whereby I could go to sleep at night and
Yeah.
not have to worry about trading accounts and things of that nature. I mean, as much, you know, I keep talking about money being lost, you know, thankfully a lot of my clients made a lot of money as well. But working on that consulting side really was there was a massive change in the way that I did business and the way that my life went as well. I just found it a lot easier. And, you know, at the same time, I did encounter work when I was consulting on that side. You would encounter a high quality or caliber of traders and so on and so forth, and it would always like want to tickle me back in, you know. But at the same time, it was like, hey, you know, I can go into the jungle in Asia to get away from people for a month and a half, and know that my business was still intact when I came back to it.
Right. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right. You know, that was a real good thing, right?
Right.
So I think that that's a cool side of the business. I really like. I really enjoyed, and again, it shows you different facets of the business that, you know, that you can work in.
Cool. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to end this conversation here. We will, of course, continue this because I know that you built something for other IBs. Since again, with all the benefits of being an IB, you know, there are a lot of difficulties and challenges. But let's keep that for next time.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I'm still for it. I think that IBs are the most important people in the industry, bar none. And that's why I set out to do what I've been doing recently. So, you know, we'll cover that in another time.